welcome to How to Deal When the Shit Gets Real podcast. I'm Rietta.
And I'm Connie, and today we are two angry cousins who are talking about anger management. See, I am totally mixing it up.
I like it, but we're not really angry. We're not really angry people.
We're not, but anger management. No. Actually, we're not angry people, but everybody has moments of anger.
That's true. We were actually just talking about it before we got on here, and we're like, it's perfect. Let's go podcast now.
Exactly. You know, everyone is angry for one reason or another.
Which is why we picked this topic, because we figured everybody could use a little anger management.
People need to be a little bit more thoughtful, and I feel like that's what anger management boils down to, is taking that initial reaction of anger and thinking about it. Taking a step back, breathe in, breathe out, whatever you need to do, think about your actual actions instead of anger and then move on to that anger. Be aggressive with the anger.
Yeah, and what they always used to tell us too when we were kids, don't go with your snap reaction. You're gonna sometimes have that snap reaction, but that's more emotion based, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you need to, like Connie said, take a moment, let the emotion kind of sink in, think about it, and then find a proper way to respond. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes.
For sure. And actually, I was just thinking while you were saying that, I was like, yep, that's gotten me in a trouble time or two. that snap reaction. And it's not necessarily for anger. It mainly comes out I always have some snippy little comment. My brother-in-law hates it.
I just can't. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It was just raised sarcastic, but that's my initial reaction is always what can Connie say? That is sarcastic.
I feel too, when you go with the snap judgment or the snap reaction, you're reacting just to a small portion of the story. We always think that we know the whole story just based on this little snippet that we're getting, but in reality, you're just getting that little snippet and you don't know what's actually going on.
True. What do you think about people who have anger towards COVID? Because I don't know if that's initial. I guess it's not the same thing. It's not that boiling anger that makes you want to just punch. It's just frustration, really. Mm-hmm. It's not really anger. Let's be real.
Well, yeah, it's a different kind of anger, basically. Like you said, more of a frustration. And I think people have a valid reason for being frustrated.
For sure.
Who wants to be stuck in their house? Who wants to wear a mask all the time? It's basically kind of an inconvenience is what it is.
And let's face it, if there's one thing that we've all learned in America, in American history, is we don't like to be inconvenienced.
No, we don't at all. And we don't have a lot of, I feel like...
patience.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was going to say. The patience for people has really worn way down. Even my dad, who I always worshipped because he had the patience of a saint. Even now, as he's gotten older, his patience is getting thinner.
Actually, I feel like both of your parents have gotten more of that older, I'm gonna say what I want attitude, I'm here for it. I'm here for all of that. I think that's just what happens as you get older. You're like, I don't care. I'm just gonna say what I think.
Which that I'm all for. Saying what you think, but in, a respectful way is all well and good. My biggest strife, especially with some of our aunts and uncles, is they literally find a reason to hate everything. My mom was here in beautiful, magical Hawaii, and she found a reason to hate it. How can you hate Hawaii? You cannot like it, or it cannot be your favorite destination for whatever X, Y, and Z reason, but to flat out say that you hate it?
I don't think she hated it.
Oh no, she flat out told me she hated it. And she will never come back.
Really? Damn. So even this year for Thanksgiving, she's not going to come back?
Nope.
She's done with Hawaii.
Done.
Well, hopefully this only lasts for a year, or the rest of this year or whatever, and you have your moving orders the following year in 21 or whatever.
Which we're supposed to, so that's fine. But she doesn't need to. I don't know. She
If I
argues
had
and
the time or
debates about
money,
everything.
I would be like, hell yeah, let me take 3 weeks vacation and go to Hawaii. Actually, hell, I could take my laptop and work from Hawaii.
Absolutely, you can. I've got a spare room, and the Wi-Fi password is written on the little board, so you are more than welcome.
If only I had the money.
I know, right? But that's my biggest tripe with her. I love my mom. She's my mom. I love her to pieces. But it's, as she's gotten older, it's become very hard to talk to her because she's very angry all the time, and she's very argumentative all the time. And I'm like, I can't. The negative juju, it's just coming at me, and I'm like trying to dodge it, and I can't because there's so much of it.
Well, and then you get to a certain point where you're like, okay, that's your feeling on Hawaii. You hate it. I honestly, I can't, with all the photos that you've posted, I can't help but be like, you have to at least love the beach, at minimum. Come on. All of the turtles that you've posted and stuff like that, at minimum, I'd be like, the beach. The beach is where I'm at, my friend. All the time.
No, the water's too warm.
What? Well, okay. That's one way to live your life. Wait, I thought as you got older, you're supposed to like the warm water and the warm...
I don't know. I could literally say to her, like, I'm really tired today. And she'd be like, no, you're not. I'm like, wait. How, you can't tell
me if I'm tired or not. You don't know.
Right. So, yeah, that's one of those things where you're just like, uh-huh.
You're like, okay, not going to argue about it.
Right. So, like, what Connie and I talked about before, like, with, what were we talking about? Resolutions. There we go. Conflict resolutions. I could not put my finger on it there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if people are being all angry at you, one of the ways you can manage their anger is just kind of be like, okay, I'm going to go over there now. See you later.
Well, and also you can tell by the stories that you've told is that that's clearly her gut reaction.
Absolutely.
It's just, nope, I'm right. Hello, goodbye. That's it.
Pretty much. Just like Grandpa. Like, remember Grandpa for the longest time, like, you would say something to him and he would say, huh, like he didn't hear you. But if you waited like 5 seconds longer, then he would respond to your question. He was just so used to saying, huh, because he didn't hear you that he said it even if he did hear you.
Well, but later on in life, it really was just the hearing aid. I don't think it was too well for him. As time goes on.
It was eventually, but it was pretty funny. Like, when he was younger, he was just so conditioned to say, huh, that even when he heard you, he would say it.
That's fine. That's better than just being angry right off. I'd rather somebody be like, huh? And then answer. But you know what, though? I've caught myself doing that before.
Yeah.
It's just, well, no, it's just a delayed reaction where I didn't catch you at first and it's taken longer for my brain to process what you've said because it was muffled or X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the times I don't say, huh, I say, did you just say X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, whatever it was.
And then it'll either be yes, no, or wow, you're hearing really weird things. And I'll say yeah.
So back on track. Well, I guess we didn't really get too off track, but back onto like more of the anger issue. One of the points that Connie wrote down is not being afraid to talk about it and maybe even getting a professional if you need. And I feel like that's a really good point that she made because I feel like a lot of times people are being angry with you for what may seem like a very on the surface situation, but I feel like a lot of times what they're actually angry about is something that's underneath the surface. Like there's an underlying issue that they're taking out. Yeah, that they're taking out on you instead of what is actually happening. Like, yeah, they might be a little annoyed by like what happened, but the underlying issue is making it like a volcano.
Yeah. Oh no, that actually was like that was like 2 weeks ago or so. We were going over to my mother-in-law's house and Tom did not want to go, but I told him to be nice. We haven't gone and seen your mom in a while. She asked for people to come over for a barbecue. We can get all the stuff you wanted done earlier in the day, then go see your mom. Mm-hmm. And he was just mad because, A, he didn't want to go. and B, he had to like work the previous day. So he's like, great, I'm giving up like my one day of relaxation to go hang out with the family. And the plot thickens, which I think is even funnier because we were arguing in the car on the way there, and I told him to stop his shit. And we walked in, and apparently from my soon-to-be sister-in-law, she's like, yep, they're totally changed. When you guys walked out of the room, I turned to everybody and said, yep, they were arguing. Because like you can tell when people have been angry or there's that residual anger left over.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially, I mean, also I was like refusing to sit near him. I went over by my sister-in-law. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit right here.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely tell, especially like in our family. It's almost like a point that has to be made. Like cabinets are being slammed. Like, I want you to know that I am pissed the fuck off, so I'm gonna slam these cabinets
or slam the door on your way out because
or stomp your feet like a 2-year-old. I'm mad. I'm gonna stomp my way out of here just so everybody knows that I'm leaving.
And it's because you have so much energy when you get angry that you feel you need to express it in a physical way, which is why you might be slamming a door, which in my house is difficult. It really sucks when you have soft close everything. Slam a cabinet door and you're like, I fucking can't. This is upsetting. Okay, neither here nor there. But that's also very dangerous because that can very easily move from hurting inanimate objects or getting your anger out on closing some cabinet doors to hurting a significant other, and that is bad. If you didn't know that, that's not good. And that's when you definitely need to take some tips. Definitely go to a counselor if you're being physically and also emotionally abusive, because yelling and me and Tom bicker. We occasionally yell at each other, but most of the time we get past it and say sorry and talk it through. But you need to have those talk it through steps. You can't just be like angry, yelling, stop, go back to normal, and then just keep the anger inside.
Yeah. And two people are never going to see eye to eye all the time. Like, it's just not going to happen. You are two different people. You are never going to see eye to eye all the time. Getting angry or upset or occasionally arguing with the other is totally normal. It's how you, like Connie said, how you handle it. If you get angry, take a breath, walk away, calm down, and come back to it and say, I'm sorry, I was angry actually because at work my boss wrote me up and I took it out on you and I'm sorry, whatever it might be.
Well, and then just in general, it needs to have that climax and like resolution. You can't just let it hang in the air, walk away, and never talk about it again. Because that's how anger wells up and somebody really gets hurt. Like, that really doesn't help anybody or anything.
Right. And you have to find your way of bringing that anger down, whether it be going to listen to music, going for a walk, writing in your journal, whatever it might be, something that'll just, even if it's just going to your journal and literally writing down like, fuck, I hate life, or a whole bunch of swear words, whatever will make you freaking feel better, do it.
I have also written out paragraphs to Tom that I'm like about to send in a text message and totally delete. Because I'm like, no, I'm not actually trying to fight. I'm just pissy. And then I just delete it. There's also like counting and breathing to 10 before taking an action so that you really know what you're doing. You definitely don't want to just react in anger like we said previously, because that again is how somebody can get hurt.
And the text message thing is like the new age version of the writing the letter you never send. Writing the letter, putting it in the envelope, and then just leaving it in your desk. The text messaging is just the new thing. Because it's totally fine to, your feelings are legitimate. It's just how you express them.
But don't accidentally hit send.
Yeah, don't do that, because that could be bad, and you can't unsend things. On Instagram you can, which is kind of interesting. I didn't know you could do that. You can literally unsend messages on Instagram if they haven't seen it, but you cannot do that with text messages, so...
That would be really cool if you could.
People would probably get in a lot of trouble. That's probably why we have Snapchat. So.
Yeah, and a lot of people get in trouble on Snapchat.
Yeah, I feel like Snapchat should be called like Cheat Chat, but I think people do use it for good things too.
The way my friends use it, it's like Dick Chat.
Ew. Nobody wants to see a penis. They are not attractive.
No, I know. And they don't, but they get them anyway.
Ew. Guys,
Come for that.
This is not about anger, but we're going to just pop this in there since Connie brought it up.
Do not
send dick pics.
They're not wanted.
They are not wanted, ever. Unless it's like your wife, and your wife legitimately says to you, send me a dick pic, and you know that she's not kidding and messing with you, and then you guys have an awesome sense of humor if that's true. But otherwise, do not send it. It is not attractive. We don't want to see it. It's not going to make us go, yes, we want to date you magically now that we've seen your penis. Keep it in your pants.
It's okay. We'll save that for another episode on social media.
Yeah, maybe we'll cut that. Maybe I'll cut that out. But we still said it and it felt good.
You're like, I really got something off my chest there. That's what that was. Rihanna, you were holding that in for a while.
I don't understand how that ever became a thing. Why?
Guys are really into themselves. Okay, it's fine.
That's like that old joke that said if guys got periods, they would compare the size of their tampons.
Probably. That's gross.
It is gross, but it's totally accurate. Anyway, back onto the anger topic. I do like to go for long walks on the beach, though, which make me clear my head. I feel like the beach, and I feel like we relate to the beach because we're made of water. This is going to get kind of earthy right now. We're going from dick pics to earthy. I feel like as humans, we relate to the beach because we're made of water, mostly. And the ocean obviously is water. And so when you go and you hear the crashing of the waves, like there's just something about it that like recenters you.
I think that's just nature in general, though. I don't necessarily think it's like I'm made of water and that is water. Because then I would get those feelings every time I drink a bottle of water. And I don't.
Well,
I honestly think it's... Huh?
Well, drinking a bottle of water is different, though. It's like hearing the ocean waves and like...
I think that's just in general. That's just relaxing. It is a calming... Like, that's why they... And this is another way to relieve your anger management. That's why they created those calm apps. And all they are is basically... I mean, it can be other things, but a lot of times it's like nature sounds. Because nature in itself is relaxing. Like, I love hearing rain on my house.
Mm-hmm. Way to kill my vibe, though, Connie. Way to kill my vibe.
I just think you can feel that way. You're allowed to have your own opinion, and I can have mine. See,
I miss thunderstorms for sure, though.
In front of you guys.
I miss thunderstorms for sure, though. I love a good thunderstorm.
Yes. And it's like the sounds of a thunderstorm at times can be, I'm sure, frightening for little kids, but to me they're very soothing. And it's same with going to the beach. And I think beaches are more of a place of reflection. Maybe it's because water holds reflections. Maybe not. Probably not. It's just more of a soothing place. But that could be anywhere for anybody. That could be, how you go on your hikes. That could be a person. I think that's how my dad is.
Well, salt water also, there's a lot of benefits of salt water to your skin, to everything. So I think that makes a difference too.
Is that why they have a Hawaiian glow? Just kidding.
Probably. There are some angry Hawaiians though, which I don't know how they can be angry, but they are sometimes. Not all, of course, but.
Well, that's anybody. Anybody can be angry.
Yeah.
Is probably bullet point 1 for this podcast. Anyone can be angry if you push hard enough. Unless you are one of the guards at Buckingham Palace. Then you have no emotion.
Only when you're on duty, though. You can have it when you're not working.
I know. I was just making a joke, Rihanna. Why do you got to kill the joke?
I know. We tried to mess with them so bad. I went there in high school, and they really do not move.
Same. It was fun.
They are fun.
Really, I saw them. I was like, that's cool. But there are so many people crowding them to get them to break that I was just like, this isn't even fun anymore. I'll just a bunch of other people do it. I'm not going to go find my own soldier to harass.
Oh, no, there wasn't that many people when I was there. Literally, me and my girlfriend pretended we were going to kiss his cheeks and took a picture. And he
Oh, well, of course, as
just
you
stood
do.
there. Oh, yeah, I mean, why not?
I think I took a picture by one, but I definitely did not really harass. But anyway, they must have a lot of secrets to how to keep cool.
They should. We should bring one onto the podcast and be like, can you give us all of your tips of how to not laugh or get angry or get weirded out when somebody is panting in your ear?
Yeah. In your face, trying to make you angry, saying vulgar things.
Yeah.
Because most people have a reaction, even if it's a gut reaction or even if it's an involuntary reaction, like smiling.
Maybe they train with the Dalai Lama or the Buddha or something, and he teaches them how to.
I would just assume that they're just standing there zoning out, thinking about other things, and then, as days go on, it's just kind of like, okay.
It's basically like meditation. They're pretty much just permanently meditating.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Maybe that's what people need to do to be a little bit more chill. There's a lot of reasons to be angry and upset. But I feel like there are also more things and more reasons to not be upset. A coworker of mine is always saying, like, can't be upset about any of this stuff, like COVID and whatever else, because I still have my job, I have my kids, I have my family, we're all healthy, we're all happy, and all of those things overtake the inconveniences of COVID.
That's true. I mean, I love putting positive spins on things. Believe that I'm a very positive person, and I love that. But I also don't think there's anything wrong with feeling how you actually feel. Like, if you want to be angry for a day because of COVID, because it's an inconvenience, go ahead and be angry. That was like when Kyle left. I was like, oh, I should be strong. I can't be sad, blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. My husband just left for 6 months. If I want to spend a day where I don't want to get out of bed, then I'm going to do that. As long as I don't do it for a week. You do it, you feel it, you feel it to your core, you move on.
Well, and that's just how emotions work. There are just some days where you're upset and some days you're happy. Some days you want to sit on the couch and do absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta do you, boo. That's what I'm bringing that to.
I like it. I just feel like there's so much pressure nowadays to be positive and be happy and pushing through your junk all the time, which you should get over it eventually, but there's also nothing wrong with having a bad day or feeling those feelings or being angry. Just don't let it overtake your life. Like, if you have a day that you're angry, go ahead and be angry. And then tomorrow after you wake up, then you're better.
Yeah, I feel like we got that a lot from our family growing up, and then it got exemplified through social media. Because social media, you don't want to see somebody crying on your Instagram. You want to see a happy family, a cute puppy, a hilarious person falling down. I don't know, but you definitely don't want to. Normally, you don't want to see people like crying and saying, "Hey, yeah, I'm upset."
Right.
And I also feel like it started from, for us, it possibly, to me, I always felt that way about our family. Mm-hmm. That our family never really wanted you to express your true emotions. And so that your job and my job, especially as a woman, this is very sexist, is to shut up, smile, and look pretty.
Right.
Because I'm not saying all of our aunts are like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that they don't show emotion. But we grew up around a lot of aunts who dressed up, looked pretty, had a smile on, were always having fun, goofing off. So I inferred from that, you're not allowed to be upset. Even though there were plenty of times that they were upset. They weren't upset around the kids.
Right, they tried not to. And they've actually given it a name now. It's pretty much called toxic positivity, where it has become the culture of portraying yourself as always being happy no matter what, and that you're basically switched off to anything which might be negative. Mm-hmm. Which everybody has bad days. It's okay. it is okay to post on Instagram, hey,
Just
sorry, I
not.
haven't been on here in a couple days. I felt like shit.
Well, actually, it's the main reason why I got off of Facebook. Not the toxic positivity, but just everybody being like, oh my God, my life is just so perfect. My boyfriend is amazing. 5 seconds later, I hate you, bitch. That kind of toxic atmosphere to me. I don't know. Just Facebook in general. At Twitter, I don't go on. I never have gone on. Versus like Instagram, it's just photos. I don't have to read your caption. I can just be like, nice sunset. Very nice. Super chill. Moving on.
Yeah.
Because they're just photos. It's not about, oh my God, my life is just so great.
The toxic positivity actually plays into why people are so angry, because looking around and seeing all this stuff on Instagram and Facebook, and they're like, everybody looks so happy, but I'm so angry. Like, why am I so different than everybody else? And it's like, well, you're really not. These people just aren't showing it to you.
Yeah, actually, or even the opposite. Because I assume, I'm not on Facebook, so I would not be able to tell you. I would assume, because my Instagram was like this, that there's a lot of information on riots, people being upset about everything that's going on. And so you see all that, and it makes you angry because you feel for those causes. So it's either one or the other. It can make you feel however you want to feel. We are not saying that social media is going to inhibit your moods, just that social media can make you feel certain ways.
Absolutely, it can definitely have an influence on you. And a lot of times that's what the media and people that are posting this stuff want. They want you to get angry. And yeah, certain situations you should, like this racial divide that they are trying to make happen, that doesn't need to happen. Like, of course that's going to make people angry.
But you need to think about it yourself and how you actually feel, not how somebody is telling you to feel. And sometimes Tom will get all, not snippy with me, but I'll be like, oh, is that what the mainstream media told you to feel? And I'm like, shut up. No, no, it's not actually how I feel. Or he'll say, well, did your mom tell you that? Is that why you feel this way? Because your mom? I'm like, no, I am capable of making my own thoughts. You're just being snippy butt.
Yeah, you're just being a smart aleck, but thank you for that.
Yeah, but thank you. But he does have a point in, you do have to think about, are these my feelings or somebody else's feelings? Like, not even just social media, but are you getting thoughts and ideas and feelings from other people? Because even like my stepsister said, oh yeah, they were fighting, and that could have easily gotten other people tense because they felt us angry at each other. Well, not angry at each other, but mad. We were arguing.
Right. And like we talked about, and it even goes back to that snap reaction. Like, you could be seeing all these posts on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and they're making you mad, and that's your snap reaction, which might not necessarily be wrong, but you should probably do some more research and read more and figure out actually what you can do instead of just getting angry. Like,
for sure.
Your anger is not going to solve the problem. Is it going to make you passionate? Absolutely. But to actually make that difference, you need to sign the petitions and go to the rallies, or, whatever you believe in the next step should be to make a difference. That's where you make the difference. Being angry and posting on Facebook, I'm fucking angry, is not going to change anything. And all it's going to do to you is make you miserable, because then you're just going to sit around and be like, I'm angry. Why? I'm just so angry.
Yeah, and it's not really helping anything, which is why we were recommending the, thinking before you're acting, taking a time out from social media or whomever or whatever is making you angry, write your feelings out, think before you act, basically. And I think the world could use a whole lot of thinking before you acting. And I feel like the past few podcasts we've talked about it. Like,
Absolutely.
You need to think and process your emotions and really like everything that's going on, anything that's going on. And actually, you would be surprised though about how quickly our minds and our bodies take information in and process it, because sometimes it can happen in a second and you don't even really get much time to process it. So sometimes you need to go back and think about it.
Right. And like we've said, like, there is nothing wrong with feeling the anger emotion. It's just not letting it overtake your life. And if you're feeling angry all the time, then you probably should seek out a professional that can help you figure out why you are angry all the time.
For sure. Or like somebody in our family did, find religion.
Or that, hey, it's not my jam. I mean, it's not where I would turn.
Yeah, we should laugh. I should laugh.
No, and it's not where. Yeah, Connie's kidding. Don't anybody take offense to that. We're not hating on anybody. It's just not the road we might necessarily take. But hey, like, if it works for you and you find salt, that's amazing.
Well, honestly, the only reason why I giggled a little bit is because I don't believe it was sincere. If somebody was sincerely found religion, good for them. If that makes you happy and not angry, fabulous. Well, need a professional. We all need a professional.
We all need professionals, which we've talked about before. But yeah, yes. Connie by no means was making fun. Neither of us would ever make fun of religion or people that are extremely passionate or any of those things. Yeah, like she said, the only reason she giggled a little is because the person that we are referring to definitely doesn't. Yeah, couple actually definitely do not seem sincere in their actions. And I'm sure you're probably wondering, well, you guys just talked about, like, don't jump to conclusions and you don't know for sure. Yeah, that's true. We don't really know for sure, but based on
our knowledge of them,
yeah, and our closeness with them, it's pretty insincere. But yeah. I guess we could find out more.
You never know.
You never know. So don't take that the wrong way, peeps.
Some are more sincere than others, the people that I know. There are some people I know that probably are more sincere about religion than others. And also, see, that's the thing about religion, is Christianity always tells you that humans are imperfect. Mm-hmm. So maybe they're just trying. They're just imperfect at trying.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or they believe that they're sincere. They're just not coming off as sincere, and you just don't know that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And maybe they're just not good at expressing emotions. But anyway,
true.
Whatever you need to do that will help you get to the root of your anger problem, then
go for it.
Yeah. As Connie said earlier, do you, boo-boo.
Exactly. It's a great saying that not enough people use anymore. It had its moment in like 2015 and now it's gone. I don't even remember if that's the year. I'm just stating a year.
Yeah, just picking a random year. That's like, yeah, I like to use juju, like good and bad juju. Mm-hmm. And like that kind of fell off. I mean, I still use it. I don't care. And it's literally on the back of like my book cover. And I literally had a girl message me. She's like, I'm so glad somebody else uses juju.
Yeah, I don't even remember juju being a thing yet. I don't know if it's our age difference.
It might be, but I love saying like bad juju and good juju. I don't know. I like it.
Karma, bitches. Karma.
That too, yeah. Anyway, I think that was our. Let me look at Connie. Connie sends me emails because she's fancy.
So no, it's because I was bored at work and I sent you an email because that was easiest.
But work don't hear this. Don't listen to our podcast and get her in trouble.
You don't know it exists. It's fine.
All right, Connie, just do our regroup. She's our, damn it, the summary queen. There we go.
Must I? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so it's anger management, people. Don't be snappy with your anger and just react to your anger. Think about it. Breathe through it, count to 10, take a break, and come back to it and think about how you actually feel, not your gut reaction, because your gut reaction is not always correct. Because I definitely don't want to think that your gut reaction of anger is always right, because that's not really a great emotion.
Yeah, and when you're seeing red, you're not seeing clearly.
It's just like those rose-colored glasses in love. We have lots of colored glasses, people.
Yeah.
And you have to see through them.
And it's not blood. Red is not blood.
Yeah, it is. They are
No,
so
it is.
angry that they are seeing blood.
The walls are dripping blood. Now we're turning into the It movie. Anyway, continuing.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I guess that was the main thing. Oh yeah, seek. I guess the only other thing to say, just as like our little recap, is, if you're feeling angry a lot and you're not really sure, or you're not, sure where to take it, find a professional to help you figure out why you're so angry and to.
We are
maybe
not
something.
your professional.
No, we are not. As much as we would love to be, we are not. But yeah, so
Full disclosure.
if there's something from your childhood or something that's plaguing you, that's making you still angry as a 30-year-old adult, then maybe find somebody that can help you wade through that. And then, of course, find ways to get out your anger and regroup, like we talked about. Walk on the beach, write in your journal, call a friend, somebody that's a third party, listen to music, whatever it might be.
Now who's the summary queen? I thought I already summarized.
Well, you forgot some parts. I had to add them.
Fine, I'll allow it. Only this once.
Okay, I'm glad. And you didn't even make your anger management movie joke, which I've been waiting for 40 minutes for you to make.
Really? I had an anger management joke? But
in your email, it literally said...
Anger management. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Then she...
Yeah, it's funny. I totally missed it. I dropped the ball. Redo. Start again.
And she even wrote out ha 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 like 7 times. So...
Guys, it's because I think I'm funny, and I guess this is just what happens when you've written something 2 weeks prior to it being talked about.
Because sometimes we are that on top of it, but not always.
Not always, no. Not mostly not. Mostly not. It's just occasionally. And next week topic, social media. We've already started, we nibbled on it today, so we'll bring it back tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but next week. And take it for a longer drive and not just Rietta's angry rant about dick pics. So, see you next week, guys.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Rietta.
I'm Connie.
And thank you for listening.